Welcome to the morning show. I'm joined by Matt Brown, market commentator at Call London. Morning, Matt.
Morning.
Right, let's kick off with market movers. Equity markets rebound as UN Council condemns North Korea.
Panic yesterday, gold up, safe havens, we saw equities fall off. US markets actually shrugged it off a little bit. I mean, it's despite everything going on in Texas as well with the floods, etc. Yeah, the US didn't seem to care, kind of shrugged it off. Okay, business as usual, let's carry on. And that's fed through now to Asia and European markets this morning. And we've seen this happen quite a lot. The missile tests are generally happening over weekends. Asia comes in with obviously a panic because it's on their doorstep. Europe follows, and then the US by that time says, well, look, who knew? North Korea, problems there, but let's not panic just yet. So, hence, equity markets, nice little uplift this morning.
Let's move on to Footsie one to watch. It's Footsie 250 stock today. WH Smith's, what's caught your attention there?
Well, not really much. A pre-close statement, and it's all seems very much in line. But the key thing, WH Smith's, I think a few years ago when we were looking at Woolworths going from the high street, and I think a lot of people had said WH Smith's, that model does not work. Well, the company's still there. It's stationary. It's reinvented itself, and key to this has been getting into the airports and the travel hubs around not only the UK but in Europe, as WH Smith's now in some Italian airports. Their margins are high compared to other kind of on-street retailers, but pretty much stationary. But well done. It's a British institution, and I think it's here to stay for the next few years. And the CEO is paid quite handsomely for it.
Very good. So let's move on to AIM one to watch. Real Food PLC.
Yeah.
Cake decoration, food ingredients, premium bakery.
Indeed. Talking about great British institutions, the Great British Bake Off started again, now moved to Channel 4 last night. I'm not a fan myself. I've never watched it, but Real Good Food are in the cake, as we can see, cake decoration, food ingredients, premium bakery. They have had a profits warning, but they're obviously in a market that there is interest, and maybe the Great British Bake Off back on our screens again will help the stock move to the upside. So look out for it, AIM stock to watch.
I read 3 out of 5 TV ratings on the actual show last night, so I won't say anything more than that. Let's move on to the Great British Pound, the Euro Great British Cross 92.48, and cable Great British Pound US dollar 129.26. I see Euro against the US 8-year highs. And it looks like parity is very much on the cards for the Euro Great British Pound at this rate.
Yeah, could be a potential. It's the Euro moving higher that's really driving this. Obviously, we're looking at Brexit negotiations really getting into the thick of it over the coming weeks, so look out for that. But really the key driver, and you talked about Euro dollar, is the strength of the Euro onwards and upwards, and then it's breaking resistance points. So that's key if you're a technical analyst or chartist. Look out for that. But all about Euro strength.
When we talk to technicals, Ryan Littlestone, when we were in Strasbourg 6 weeks ago, he said that this was an onward and upward trend. The trend is your friend, and he said he's been very consistent that this was one-way traffic. Well done, Ryan. Okay, let's move on to broker upgrades and downgrades. Citigroup company Accardo, new recommendation buy. That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's a new buy. Sometimes they're a little bit behind the curve, and this is there's a lot of shorting in this company, in Accardo. We've seen a squeeze of 2% on the back of this. They're coming out saying it's a new buy. Recently, they've announced they have a product, or one of the first products, that you can order via Amazon's Alexa. So you can shout, more eggs, more flour, whatever you want, and it will be delivered to your door the next day, instead of shouting at someone else in the household, maybe. But worth noting, Accardo, we've had, the supermarkets will have had an uplift after a good bank holiday weather-wise. The question is, do people look for these online retailers when they need to have a barbecue later on in the day? And the problem is with the likes of Accardo, it's the next day, or you need a slot a couple of days later. Well, as we well know, the sunshine can pass. So an uplift for the supermarkets. Online retailers, how do they react to changes in the British weather, and certainly in the summertime? Worth noting.
Very good. Right, let's move on to the core number, £10,000.
Yes, I think it was in the Evening Standard last night, talking about retired Londoners, anyone owning or assets over £10,000 the elderly retired members of the London community are more likely, three times more likely to be scammed than youngsters. And these scams are in online dating and fine wine. Now, a lot of old city soaks will probably say, I lost £10,000 or spent £10,000 on wine and women, and the rest I wasted.
Yeah, boom, boom.
But I mean, it is a problem. And you look at kind of the silver-haired generation that probably don't understand apps, etc., see a great offer. And we've seen that happen with Bitcoin. We were talking a couple of weeks ago how people look at, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So if you've got a young lady asking for whatever your details or someone offering you some Chateau feet at a discount price, be aware.
You know what to do. Right, let's move on to the economic calendar. In the US today, the ADP unemployment change, obviously non-farm payroll this Friday. That's the precursor. And US 130 GDP. So some big numbers today.
Yeah, two to look out for, and I think they'll get the market moving as long as Donald Trump keeps quiet. ADP, again, precursor, as you rightly say, to non-farm Friday. It's the first Friday of the month, September the 1st. Look out for that. But certainly with dollar's had a bit of a bounce today. Let's see if that momentum can continue. But look out for those two numbers.
Matt, very good. Thank you very much indeed.